greatest motorsport on Earth? Introducing Full Pull Live, your front row seat to all the action. Don't miss our next NTPA national event, the Lions Super Pull of the South, July 19th and 20th from Chapel Hill, Tennessee. Sign up at the brand new low price of $39.99 a month. Full Pull Live, the greatest motorsport on Earth, streams here.
Welcome, everybody, to the Weigh In Wednesday show. That's Dan Mayer. He's going to be on the mic this Friday and Saturday night in Chapel Hill, Tennessee. Can't wait for this, Dan. This is one of the events, the Grand National, Super National, doesn't really move this far south this often. I mean, I'm pumped. The fans,
absolutely.
Yeah, they pour out of the woodwork for this one, Dan. So.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we were in Benson. We started the season off down in, as far south as we go for the season and then go up to Chapel Hill. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of a break. It goes, the Grand National season starts out just, we went Benson, Farley, Hutch, Toma, boom, 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 4 in a row. Then there's a little bit of a break and kind of gives everybody a chance to check their bearings, take a deep breath. And now it is, I think the next 6 weeks are the busiest 6 weeks every year in pulling. How many nights are you out, Dan, just announcing pulls everywhere?
I'm pretty much full up until the end of September at this point.
It's crazy.
From this point forward, it's but like you say, after this weekend, it's up through Enderley, so it's
I know we have Fort Recovery next weekend for full pull, and then I think Napoleon after that, and then Bowling Green. Then
you got Rockwell in there.
Rockwell August 1st or 3rd. Yep, I forgot about that one too.
So Rockwell, Napoleon, Bowling Green, Canton. Just keep on going.
It is all, but it's gonna be great to hear your voice this weekend. You and Miles are upstairs, right, in the big booth?
Miles will be upstairs. I'll be trackside, and then Darren will be down trackside as well with us.
Okay, so they kind of do like a winner's circle. How do they set the announcers up in Chapel Hill for you guys?
Yeah, well, Miles is going to be upstairs. I'll be downstairs, and then Darren's like the winner's circle guy.
Okay, awesome. Well, the games are up, everybody, at fullpullpicks.com. We rolled out fullpullpicks.com officially with real money wagering back in Toma, and then we went to Right, Texas, and then last weekend we did Rock Valley, Iowa, we did Fairfield, Illinois, and we did Joliet, Illinois as well. So I did pretty good in Right, Texas, Dan. I did horrible in Rock Valley, Iowa. If I was the king of picking like second place and seventh place, I would be a millionaire at this point. So I just want to throw that out there. So, but it's been fun. I've been trying hard. I'm going to do a quick screen share just to show you what Full Pull Picks looks like. If you have not created an account yet, all you have to do is create an account, and we're going to give you $20 free money to play with, and it's real money wagering. And these are the games that are up right now, fans. Diesel Supers, and then Dan and I are going to unveil the lineups here in a little bit, but Diesel Supers are up for Friday night. Dan, I got $12 left, so you're going to help me gamble right now, okay? How about that? So,
all right.
So Dan and I are going to pick two winners, and I'm gonna wager $5 of my $12. I had $112 in my account, Dan, before Rock Valley, and I stunk it up.
You went through that pretty quick.
I did one night, actually. One night, but it was a hoot. It had a couple. Been trying to play with some long shots a little bit, Dan, to make it fun. And we almost hit on a couple of them. It was another Mike Idle, the other announcer, and I were working on it, and Ron Stone. We had a good time with it. But so fans, these are the current odds. So this is where the money is right now. This will be active, and the odds can change up until pull time. But once the class starts, then that's the odds that are locked in on that are what counts. That's one of the big questions we get, Dan, is how long are the odds active for? How long can I wager? Once the class starts, obviously, it's go time. So let's just play around a little bit, and so John Belfant's good running tractor, right? We know that, but it blew up in Benson in a horrific way, right? But I just want to show you guys, he's 34-1 right now because of that, right? He's not one of the big time favorites, but we know, you and I know, that's a tough tractor. So if you went with say triple bypass, which is arguably without doubt one of the toughest diesel super stocks we've ever seen go down the track, and so we got two people in here. We got Chain Reaction and Belfants. Let's say we threw $5 in there. That if those two tractors finish in the top three, we'd win $89.20 in real money. So that's what's fun about this. You can bet up to $1,500 if you want. Let's just throw that in there, Dan. I'm not going to do this, Dan Mayer, I promise. But it would win us $26,760.
There you go. See,
that would make it a little more. That would make it a more exciting, Dan, than what I'm comfortable with mortgage rates at 7%. Okay.
yeah. And the super stock on the sideline.
Yes, and yeah. So the water injection blew off Friday night. Doug Meisinger was driving my tractor, got it hooked up, and the water injection line blew off. So the computer didn't scream at us because we still had boost pressure, and it got up to 2,200 degrees. So we're tearing it down right now and replace some pistons, and didn't want to take a chance of hooking it Saturday night and putting a rod through the block or something like that, Dan, and pretty much ending our season. So that would stink. But
yeah,
so Dan, what class are you most comfortable with that you want to wager on with my $12.30? How are you feeling right now, Dan?
Well, I would, I mean, the diesel super class would be some. I mean, I want to stay away from the mini rods because any one of them 20 tractors could win.
Yep.
So I would say let's work with the diesel supers here, but let's work with John's other tractor, the chain breaker.
Okay. Chain breaker, and you want to go with Ross then too?
I would say those two tractors. Yeah.
So we're gonna have a chance to win $89. I'll split this with you, Dan. Okay, I promise.
No, that's okay. My fee will be a little more. No.
We're at fullpullpicks.com right now. The great Dan Mayer, along with myself, we're going to do the Chapel Hill lineups here in a little bit. But we've been talking about real money wagering now for a year and a half. We're excited. Miles was going to try to jump on with us tonight, but he's got his county fair. And PK was going to try to jump on as well, but he's making hay because everybody's trying to get their work done. Dan Mayer came in from mowing his yard, all 17 acres, to help us tonight here on our Weigh In Wednesday show. So
not anymore. We used to have quite a bit back in New York, but here in we've kind of downsized that here in outside of Louisville.
Awesome. So we're going back to the lobby now. And we that was our pick. I have $7.30 left, Dan. So let's do one more. Do you want to do pros? Do you want to do unlimiteds?
Let's do unlimiteds. Let's do
unlimiteds. Okay.
Let's do unlimiteds, and let's see here. We got to put some money on Joe.
Yep. And Richardson was in the top 3 last year. I'm trying to remember, Dan, who was on the.
Joe's gone 2 events without winning. He is definitely on the verge. He's gonna break through here.
He's basically 1-to-1 right now. He's been chosen by 50% of the wagers so far.
And then let's go. Let's see here. Let's go with. I'm going to say let's go with Doug Theobald.
Okay.
Let's go with Doug Theobald. Doug had a real nice
run.
Do
you think their mini rod luck's going to roll off?
Well, he had a nice run at Hutch.
Good. That's right.
Yep. Yeah. Toma, he not so, not sure if it was a track or what, but.
All right. So boom, Dan, we're going to make some money this weekend, buddy. Making some money with Dan Mayer. But that's fullpullpicks.com, fans. You can do that on the app. You can do it on the website. Go to fullpull.us, click on play now, or do that. So welcome back. We're going to go through the lineups now, Dan. Why don't we just take turns just kind of rolling through these? These are the official lineups. We do this every Wednesday before every event that we live stream. We did this for Outlaw TV last week as well for Rock Valley. But here we go. Diesel Supers, Dan. If you don't care, I'm going to read through these because this is the class I was hoping to be pulling in down there. This is
go right ahead.
7 o'clock, everybody, Eastern, both nights. Stan Blagrave will be hook number 1. Jacob Belfance, Chain Reaction, hook number 2. Steve Burge, Lock and Load number 3. Kent Payne, your defending Grand National Champion, Super Rooster. Jason Smith, the Hillbilly Cadillac. That was a tractor that we pulled last year in Chapel Hill. Dan, it was owned by Cody Agent at the time. I think he's been running with USA Pullers a little bit. Travis Schlabaugh, the Bone Twister. Brandon Hunt, Living a Dream. John Belfance, Chainbreaker. Esden Lane and the Redline Fever. Colin Ross, Triple Bypass. Hey, Dan, you're my historian. You're all of our historians in pulling. When's the last time Esden's been in Chapel Hill?
It's been a couple of years. But up until then, he's he hasn't missed one. So
right.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years. So
good stuff. Now we're gonna go to. You can take this one, Dan. Unlimiteds Friday night. If you want to run through this.
All right, so Brad Benedict, points leader, get us rolling here with the nonsense tractor. Joe Ader will be second with Emax in the third spot. Giddy Up and Ricky Rose. Fourth will be Dave Richardson, foursome. Mark Cole will be fifth. First time he'll be out with the Gambler Tractor. Kevin Criswell, blown scentless, will be sixth. Doug Theobald, seventh with the full-blown wicked. And then filling out the field, Adam Bauer with the cross-threaded in the number 8 spot.
Yeah, we only get to see the Unlimited, I think, 10, 12 times a year total. So this is obviously one of the big ones for them. And Chapel Hill is very, very special. Dan, how long have you been involved in the announcing part of Chapel Hill?
Oh, this is my first year.
Oh, awesome.
Yep, awesome. This is my first year, and looking forward to it.
That's great.
I have the last time I was in Chapel Hill was mid-90s. So It's been a while. And
I got to go down last year for my first time ever with full pull. And it got rained out Friday night, which was unfortunate, but it did allow us a lot of time to get a lot of if you've been seeing the full pull drivers chats posted on social, we did all of those last year. That's where we got Kevin Mastersons and Billy Beers and trying to think Robbie Russell, trying to think of all the people we talked, Joe Ader, all different things like that. It's pretty neat. So again, welcome to Weigh-In Wednesday. You're watching us live on Facebook and YouTube. Dan Mayer, he'll be on the microphone this weekend in Chapel Hill. I'll be working with fullpull.live. We're talking about fullpullpicks.com. Real Money Wagering is here, and we're doing the lineups for the poll, and Dan and I just kind of running through those. Next up, we got Pro Stocks, Dan, Friday night. We're going to kick it off with Chance McGrath out of Canada. Man, Dan, he's having a heck of a season. He really stepped up his motor program. He's been top 5, I swear.
Absolutely. Weekend. Yeah, he's been very consistent, known Chance a long time. Met him through state pulling, actually. And good to see. I don't want to, knock on wood. I don't want to jinx him at all, but yeah, he's had a heck of a season he's put together.
Yes, he has. He really, Benson, he showed us what it was all about. Danny Schmucker, now they say Louisville, Ohio, correct?
That is correct, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Louisville, Ohio. They had a late spring, got behind on planting, missed the first couple Grand National hooks, because that's one of the biggest comments I've seen out there on social media is where are the Schmuckers this year. And I talked to one of them, either Kevin or Danny, I don't remember, and they just basically said, we missed those first couple ones. They've been kind of picking and choosing now and bouncing around. Like when Mastersons came to Chapel Hill last year, Dan, holy cow, and they came to Toma, the place went wild. With Schmucker showing up maybe at a non-NTPA poll, that's exciting for the fans. It gets them going. So
yeah, I actually saw them up at Shipshewana here about a month ago. Awesome. They were up running up there, and just one of them things. Late planting, and and of course the kids are getting of age, so the traveling part of it can get a little long in the tooth. So I think that's you see that from time to time. But
yeah, we saw the No Fear deer back out on the Badger State circuit, and the baiters have just taken some time off with their kids, and now we're going to start seeing them again. And that Badger State Pro Stock class has been pretty awesome so far this year, Dan. So
one thing we too have to mention, Jason, is the Chapel Hill event's a grand or super national invitational.
Yep.
So the top, I don't know how many, the top so many in Grand National points are guaranteed, and then the rest of them are invitational. So
I think it's top 10, Dan, but I'm not 100. I'm pretty sure it's top 10 automatic invite if you're top 10 in points, and then they can do some invites as well. So there is some elusiveness to that as well, Dan. So.
Right. You're right. And it's the only event that does this, so it's very unique.
Jamie Qualls is watching on YouTube. He says, let's see the Pro Stocks and Limited first. Jamie, I just saw your comment, so I think we made you pretty much happy.
Yeah. You must have been reading his mind.
I'm just going in order the way Allison and Rogo put the graphics in for us, so it's all good. But Danny Schmucker, number 2, Grayson Shelton, number 3, with Cutting Down. And Dan, if you have any insights on any of these, just stop me. Robbie Lemke, New Generation Plus, took number 4. Tim Kane, Red Gambler. We saw him get his first win in quite a while on the Grand National Circuit down there in Benson. Jason Zvonavec with the Bootlegger, struggled at Mac Trailer Winter Nationals in Louisville.
Now I've been told Colin's going to drive that. Okay. I've been told. So,
and that makes sense. Brandon Simon, Loud and Heavy X, never count out a Simon. Rhett Parrish, El Nino, Braden Schrammick, and Youngblood. Grayson Shelton and Cutting Edge Pro. Braden's coming off a win in Toma on Saturday night.
Yep.
It'd be good to see both Shelton's Pro Stocks there. Of course, the Robbie Russell and the Workhorse. Julia Ray, Mac Daddy. Peter Norton, Money on Black. Jack Mays, Billet Binder. Kevin Schmucker, Get Her Done Deer. Mike Connie, Mac Nasty. Brent Meyer, Injected Funds, your defending Grand National champion. Rush Yoder and Extra Butter. And Yoder Popcorn is the NTPA sponsor of the Pro Stock class. And then Brandon Simon's going to go loud and heavy with 19 big Pro Stocks.
Yeah, I've been told that Russ he's, as of the other day, was waiting on parts. So,
okay.
Yeah, we'll hopefully you make it. Hopefully you make it. But
all these pullers have to be signed up by Monday by noon to allow us to get all the full pull put in, and then we do have scratches up there. Let's say you do pick Russ and he doesn't make the call, your wager gets credited back to your account. You get an email, so you can go in and re-wager with that. So JB Qualls says, tell Dan Goshen next week will be 31 years he's been going to Goshen. That's pretty cool. So
yeah, quite a streak.
It is. All right, so let's head up to our next one here. Looks like we're going to go four-wheel drive truck pulling, Dan, if you want to take these.
All right, so looks like our first hook will be Mick Broughton with the shock treatment. Will be up first. Then we'll have Ike Zering with the bucket list truck. Rob Foster, number 3 with Foster Child. Fourth will be Ben Ellis Jr. with the Benjamin truck. Bill Kramer with the Contender. They're running Grand National points this year and looking pretty strong. RJ will be out with the Simon Says Chevy. Always love seeing that truck.
Yeah.
Then Mark Mangan. What else can you say about Mark? He's
tough.
He's tough. Yeah. And he'll be in the 7th spot here. Taylor Kosa will be piloting the TaylorMade truck. Danny Johnson from down south with the Desperado. Jake Kramer, second half of the Kramer team, Supernatural. And then the Holman brothers in the 11th spot. Jim going to be driving Friday night with 4Play. 12th spot will be Jake Zering's Rule 19. And then Anna Mangan's going to drive the Bounty Hunter this weekend. In the 13th spot, Larry Peterson. A lot of wins in Chapel Hill with the Profab geared up truck. He'll be 14. And then Scott Phillips coming back here with Yankee Blue in the 15th spot. And good to see Scott back out on the tour.
Yeah, I think it's been 12 or 13 years since they've been out, and he showed up at the Pullers Championship Saturday night, and he's been in the top 10 a lot this year from what I've seen.
Yep.
And good running.
Oh yeah, it's like he hasn't lost anything.
Right.
He talked to him a few times at different pulls, and just kind of like riding a bike. He's been right there in the mix.
I got to see Jim Holman in Rock Valley, Iowa last weekend, Dan. Picked up the win Saturday night with the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association. We had him on our countdown to pull time Saturday afternoon or between sessions on Saturday, and he said that the day track there in Rock Valley is one of the best ones he's ever pulled on, and it actually tricked him, and they actually choked the truck down on Saturday. And to put 4Play in its tracks, Dan, it's a good track, and he misread it.
Absolutely, so, yeah, that truck there, it speaks for itself, really.
Yes, it does. Again, if you're just joining us, Dan Mayer, Jason Schultz here. Weigh in Wednesday. We do these at 6:00 Central before every pull. That full pull .live will be at as well, and we talk about full pull picks, and that was the whole idea, is getting these lineups out there for all your fans. The games are up at fullpullpicks.com. Go to the fullpull.us app, click on play now, or simply go to fullpullpicks.com. Dan Mayer and I spent my $12, and we are going to make some money this weekend, and I'm feeling good about it. I have the luck of Dan Mayer with me. So far we've done diesel supers, we've done pro stocks, we've done four-wheelers, and we did the Unlimiteds. Now we're going to move on to the mini rods for session 1, and we have 19 of them, Dano. Holy cow.
Yep. And
Chase Richardson. Go ahead, Dan.
No, I was just going to say any one of these, we park it in the winner's circle. So, Yeah, good luck.
I'm trying to remember who won last year. Did Theobald win last year? Or did I know Shelton's Mini did really good on Saturday night. I don't remember, because do they interview the top 3 on the winner's circle? I feel like they do down there, Dan. I know you haven't been there in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, but I know they used to do the top 3. That was, because then they give away the chair to the winner. But, like I say, it's been so long, and I got my notes in the other room there. I'm working on those currently. So, but I do remember Theobald's down there running very well.
I feel like they did, but we'll find out for sure when you're this weekend. Chase Richardson will lead us off with hook number 1. Adam Kester. The Kesters are back, Dan. They're running good again. It's been a couple years. I think Adam was trying a lot of different stuff, and I really feel like he's got them dialed in now.
Absolutely. What's interesting, though, is, he's got the new chassis with the Footloose, but he's got the other 2 running just as good, too. So that's really cool. I'm glad that they're back up on top, because very popular team. Yes,
it is. Brian McDonald, his pictures there with very little sanity, his pictures here on our graphic. Reese Shelton cutting up. Cody Singletary, Carolina Night Train. Lindsey Campbell, Short Fused. Adam Bauer, Ian Torrey. Jeff Guza, Grandpa's Disaster. Renee Theobald, Pretty Wicked. Grayson Shelton, Sawed Off. Adam Kester, Beast of Burden. CJ Grazik with the Pile Driver. Ron Tobin, Walk the Line, part of the Kester team. Troy Arndt with Slingshot. He runs with Bowers. Kevin Campbell, of course, owner of Chaos Fab, the wild card. That guy's a busy dude at the pool, so he's got stuff in every class. Ken Vinny with the funny little farmal. Great to see Ken out. That'll be with him and Esden there, Dan. That'll be some.
Absolutely.
Together. Yep.
Absolutely.
Cody Singletary coming back with Carolina Night Train 2. Holt Strickland with Just Ask. And Grant Theobald of Little Wicked, man. He'll get to watch all 19 of them. Wow.
And the points leader is at the bottom there. So, and it's cool. We got, Cody and Holt rookies this year, as Kevin Campbell, first, Grand National season. So yeah, got some really strong, like you say, top to bottom, pick a winner.
Yeah. Right now, Grant is one. He's basically even money at 1-1.
Okay.
I'm at fullpullpicks.com. The long shot right now, if you will, or the would be Brian McDonald, Carolina Night Train, Short Fused, and Grandpa's Disaster all at 15-1. Got Renee's at 2-1, Grayson Shelton's at 3-1. So there's some opportunities in there for people to jump in there.
Wow,
but people are starting to figure out that Walk the Line is back. He's 1.3-1. This is pretty fun.
Brian McDonald, that really,
I know that's a bet. That's a good one there.
He was our 10,000 to win winner at Bowling Green last year.
Yeah.
So
and that's what makes this fun for the people that really, really study it. And we just put the games up today, Dan. So I'm sure they'll be changing here once the lineups are out. And I know a lot of people are waiting for these lineups to see the pulling order too, Dan.
Oh, okay.
That, to do that. So pretty fun.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how, like you say, Grant's at the bottom and then Mom's kind of halfway through the field. So
yep.
That'll be interesting.
Well, I've heard you talk about it on the mic and other announcers that the teams with 2 or 3 in the class, that is an advantage for them. Now, granted, it costs a lot of money to do that, but it's all good.
That's why you do it, right?
That's why you do it. Go check the chat. Have you won yet? Yeah, Dave, I've won a couple. I did okay down in Whitewright. We had one person win $1,700 down in Whitewright, Texas, Dan, on the 3.0 diesel trucks. With I think $100 wager, if I remember correctly.
Okay. The only time I played actually was last year at Chapel Hill, and I won.
Okay, cool.
I said, okay, I'll
Yep. Yeah.
I'm undefeated.
Charles, will there others be showing up that are not on the list? No. Once the lists are final, Charles, the lists are finals. So, and then Dan Schreier's checking in from the NTPA. He's in charge of all the sponsorship for the NTPA. We're going to see him this weekend. Great summary. Yeah, we're having fun. We're having a lot of fun doing this. I'm going to try to sneak Dan in the booth with me a little bit, and possibly a Greg Randall sighting too, Dan, this weekend.
I'm sure Greg.
I'm gonna lure him in with Cowtails. That really good candy that sponsors the NTPA. I talked her into giving us a case of that stuff up in Toma, Dan. So we got a bunch of it in our live stream trailer. I love it.
Like breadcrumbs.
Yeah, pretty much like ET. Yep, just dropping those around. Again, we're doing the Weigh-In Wednesday show. Dan and I just revealed the Friday night lineups. Going to move on to Saturday night now. Head over to fullpullpicks.com. Place some wagers. Fullpull.live will be the home of the live stream if you cannot be in the stands. We had Tim Tips on our podcast Monday night, and they're just super excited after the rain out last year on Friday night, Dan. And the weather doesn't look to be stupid south hot for once. They're pretty excited about that too. So
yep, and both days look really good.
Yep.
Knock on wood again, but
knock on wood. I got some right here on my desk.
Yep.
I don't know if it's real or not, Dan, but I think it is.
It's close enough. That'll work.
All right. So let's move to Saturday night. Diesel Superstocks fans. Brandon Hunt's going to kick it off with hook number 1. Stan Blagrave number 2 with the Red Horse. Travis Schlaba and the Bone Twister going number 3. Jason Smith, the Hillbilly Cadillac. John Belfance, Chainbreaker number 5. Super Rooster 6. Lock and Load 7. Colin Ross 8. Esden Lane 9. Jacob Belfance will be number 10. And like Dan mentioned earlier, Chapel Hill is invitational only. I think the top 10 points are guaranteed a spot. And in some of their classes, we see more than 10, and those are invite only. So it adds a little exclusiveness, Dan, to the Chapel Hill, to the Lions Super Bowl of the South. I know they're rolling into year number 48. It's been the Lions Club since the very beginning. We got some history of it Monday night on our podcast. It started out with, was it USHRA?
No, actually, it started off years ago as like a Mid-South poll.
That's right.
And then 1987, it was a Grand National poll. And then they were NTPA up until like 93 or 94. Then it was US Hot Rod for a few years and then went back to NTPA. And that's where it's been since. So it's been a Grand National since 87. So
you feel like you're on top of the pullers there with the way the seat, it feels like a football stadium, Dan. And then that area behind the big screen, Dan, where people can they literally just sit back there with their chairs and they have another big screen back there. It's just, it's a great feeling. It's pretty awesome. Unique venue. So let's go Unlimiteds, Dan, if you want to run with this. This is Saturday night.
All right, so hook number 2 here for the Unlimiteds. Brad Benedict going to kick it off again. Nonsense will be the first hook. Doug Theobald will be second. Full Blown Wicked. Third will be Joe Ader with the E-Max tractor. Dave Richardson, number 4 spot with Foursome. Adam Bauer, number 5 here with Cross Threaded. 6th spot will be the Blown Scentless, Kevin Criswell. Mark Cole with the Gambler will be 7. And then bringing out the pack here will be Ricky Rose with Giddy Up in the 8th spot.
I love it. And we picked Joe and we picked Doug Theobald on our full pull picks for Friday night. Dan and I did.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to move over to Pro Stock Saturday night. Danny Schmucker leading it off with the Rampage. We think Colin Ross is driving the bootlegger. Julia Ray, the Mac Daddy. Rush Yoder, Extra Butter. Chance McGrath, Last Chance 2. Grayson Shelton cutting down. Brandon Simon in the top early, first 10 again, as well as he is on Friday night. Loud and Heavy X. Jack Mays with the Billet Binder. Rob Russell, Workhorse. Braden Shramick and the Youngblood. Mike Connie and the Mac Nasty. Kevin Schmucker, Get Her Done Deer. Grayson Shelton, Cutting Edge Pro. Tim Kane, Red Gambler. Esden Lemke will be driving Saturday night. Robbie's driving Friday night. New Generations Plus. Brent Meyer, Injected Funds. Rhett Parrish, El Nino. Brandon Simon, Loud and Heavy. And then Peter Norton, Money on Black. 19 big pro stocks down here Friday night and Saturday night in Chapel Hill. Dan, are there any? Pro Stocks has been a newer addition to Chapel Hill, correct?
Yeah.
I think in the last 5 to 10 years.
Yep. Right? Actually, because when the event started, the Grand National started out, 2-wheel drives were there, Super Stocks and Unlimiteds mods.
Okay.
And it was like that for a while. They added the 4-wheel drives, and then they ran those 4 classes for a lot of years. And then eventually the minis got invited. They went down there, and then they dropped the 2-wheelers in favor of the Pro Stocks to kind of keep things fresh. And, that's how it's been here ever since. And we got to mention too, going back to the diesel super stock class, the invitation, I think the list started off with there was 15 or 16 on there, and then just breakage, you're part of it.
Yep, I am.
There's.
Well, I know it's tractor pulling, unfortunately,
but like you say, that everybody's, kind of, there's only 10. Well, I know Goodwin's were on the list and Peterson but.
Yeah, Roger Hurd is pretty bad. Roger Hurd is pretty bad in Toma. We just need to get through Rock Valley last weekend, and like I said, just a simple water line blew off and water injection line, and it made a mess. Matt Hurd is up in Toma as well. I'm trying to think who else was on that list. I know
Degenhertz were on there.
Yep.
They Hurd and Up and Hutch, I believe it was.
They're coming back together. But I do know, I know Blade Grave saved their tractor for Chapel Hill. We tried to get them to come to Rock Valley. We made a phone call. They're like, we love Rock Valley, but we just really want to save it for Chapel Hill. And that means a lot to the promoters down there. So it's all part of it. So Diesel Supers they're fun, Dan. They're fun to watch.
Fun to watch. Oh yeah, they're fun to watch. But like you say, they've become like Top Fuel dragsters now. Here, they're just.
And that Chapel Hill track is awesome. It is a great track. It took a lot of power last year, and it's fun to watch. And it's for the fans, if you haven't been there before, opposite of the announcer side, they line them up. The scales are right behind there, and they come in there. It's super organized, super great. And they dealt with a lot of rain last year and had to clean a lot of stuff up. But still, it was amazing. It was amazing. So let's move to 4-wheel drive trucks, Dan. If you want to take off with this, I'm going to take the banner off the bottom so you can read the bottom ones, but go ahead.
Okay, so it looks like Jake Kramer will be first hook on Saturday night with Supernatural. Then we'll have Scott Phillips, Yankee Blue, number 2 spot. Looks like Jake Zering, number 3 with Rule 19. RJ Simon with the Simon Says, number 4 spot. Rob Foster, 5th with the Foster Child. In the 6th spot will be Ben Jamin, Ben Ellis Jr. The Holman brothers will be number 7 spot with Foreplay. Paul will be driving on Saturday. Ike Zering in the 8th spot with the Bucket List. 9th will be Mark Mangan, points leader with the Outlaw. So he's kind of in the middle here, both nights, looks like.
Yep.
10th spot will be Danny Johnson with the Desperado. Billy Kramer with the Contender truck in the 11th spot. Mick Broughton will be in the 12th spot with the Shock Treatment. 13th will be Taylor Courses, Tailor Made. Looks like Anna Mangan down in the bottom here, the Bounty Hunter in the 14th spot, and then Larry Peterson will be 15th here with the Profab geared up in the last spot.
Yeah, I think Mick drew hook number 1 Friday night, and they got a little later hook Saturday night. But it looks like Anna and Larry have late hooks both nights. So.
Yep. Yeah.
And for you fans that don't know, it's just computer generated, and then it's I guess just luck of the draw. There's no science to this at all for the pulling order, but that's just how it goes. So Dan, 4-wheel drive trucks have been at Chapel Hill a long time. Mark Mangan's really just been tough to beat this year. Simon got a win in Benson. But I really feel like Mangan is like on top right now.
He is. He's on, but like you say, Larry Peterson, he's had a lot of wins down here at Chapel Hill as the Holman brothers. So be interesting to see how they all come out here, and Scott Phillips, throw him in the mix too as well. So, you got some of the longtime pullers, but then who know, some of the newer ones, can bounce right at, like RJ, first time running the 4-wheel drive down there. So that'll be interesting.
Yep. 4Play and the Outlaw are leading they're pretty much even odds right now. But again, fans, you pick 2 pullers to finish in the top 3. And that's kind of what, Dan and I went with Colin Ross. And then we took a little bit of a flyer, if you will, with Belfance's tractor. We know it runs hard. And it's going to be excited to see them back in Chapel Hill. But that, our $5 wager could win us $90 if we did okay with that. But right now, I'm on fullpullpicks.com. Well, I'll just bring it up. That's my job, right? Give me a second here. We got one more class to go. Then I'm going to let Dan go back to mowing his yard. I got to do some emails.
It looks like it's going to rain.
Yeah. Oh, man. Dan, I hope you don't have to bail your yard when you get home.
Well, I will. Well, see, the wife's back up in New York, so I've got to make sure I get this stuff done before I leave.
You got to do it all.
Yeah.
Have you been wet this summer as well? Has a lot of
actually, it's been dry where we are.
It's
been pretty dry here, and then but you go an hour north of us up Seymour way, and it's pretty wet up there. So just depends where you're at.
So here's the 4-wheel drive. We're at fullpullpicks.com right now. Again, just the games just went up today, so not a ton of action on them yet. But the Outlaw right there, basically 1-1, and I have 30 cents left. I'll put some more money in my account, Dan. And then 4Play 1-1, Bounty Hunter and a Mangan 3-1. And then a lot of 8-1s right now. So it's fun to see coming in there, how all that's shaken out. So back to the business. Let's see. You just did 4-wheelers. I'll read off the minis. 5 classes in Chapel Hill, 1 track. That does make it unique, Dan. We're used to seeing 2 tracks at these big time events, if you will. And I'm telling you, it's pretty neat. You can still make a 1-track event pretty awesome. And if you don't believe me, go to Chapel Hill. So.
Well, one thing that I'm glad they done since the last time I was there is they, limit entries. Cause I mean, I think the last time I was there, they finished up around 1:30 in the morning, 2 o'clock. But they didn't really limit the entries like they do now back then. So that's a good thing.
It's way better that way. So back to mini rods here. Yeah. I think 4-hour show, Dan, seems to be about all what people really want and nothing much more than that. So 3 to 4 hours. So. But some places will surprise us, and like Goshen, Indiana, I think they start pulling at 8 in the morning, right?
Well, they usually take a break and they run other classes, so it's, it depends, But I say the best way to determine how long your show should be is have a couple kids with you.
There you go.
Yep, and I always said that. I've loved pulling forever, but once my oldest boy, when he was about 5 years old, he let you know after 3 hours. That's about it. So that's, and that's what I tell everybody. If you think it's great to have a 5-6 hour show, bring your kids and let them tell you.
Yeah, they're going to tell you what's up, right? They're going to tell you what's up. Cody Singletary, Carolina Night Train, going to kick us off Saturday night. Grant Theobald, the points leader as of right now, going to go number 2. Reese Shelton cutting up. He's last hook on Friday night, Dan, and he's second hook on Saturday night.
He's an early hook on Saturday, so yeah.
Adam Bauer, Iron Toy, Ken Venny, the legend, funny little farmall. Kevin Campbell, the wild card. Adam Kester, Footloose. Troy Arndt, Slingshot, hook number 8. Jeff Guza and Grandpa's Disaster, number 9. Chase Richardson, Who's Your First Hook on Friday night is going to fall into the middle on Saturday night with the Vibrator. Brian McDonald, Very Little Sanity. Grayson Shelton, Sawed Off. Adam Kester, Beast of Burden. Renee Theobald, Pretty Wicked. She'll get to go to school off of Grant at hook number 2. Holt Strickland and Just Ask. Cody Singletary, Carolina Night Train 2. Ron Tobin, Walk the Line. CJ Graysick, Pile Driver. And then Lindsay with the Short Fused. Kevin is hook number 6, and she's hook number 19. So they'll get a chance to watch after Kevin's run and maybe make some changes. And maybe Lindsay can get a walk-off win in Chapel Hill, Tennessee. That would be definitely make her year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that happen. So,
and it's kind of neat the way that they're all kind of spread out, by the luck of the draw. And it just,
there's some nights, we see them getting off the tractor and either running back or getting on a golf cart or something like that. So it's fun. So, there's your lineups, everybody, for Friday night and Saturday night. Dan and I'll kind of wrap this up here in a little bit, but head over to fullpullpicks.com. $5 minimum wager. You pick 2 competitors, you finish in the top 3. If you haven't yet, head over and subscribe to fullpull.live. If you cannot be in Chapel Hill, watch the live stream, and with your monthly subscription, you can go back and watch all the previous events as well. So, Dan, it's going to be awesome that you're in the booth. You have one of the most recognizable voices in the sport of announcing truck and tractor pulling, and Miles is going to be there as well. Also, another very, very well-known voice. Darren Hartwell will be doing some winter interviews. How excited are you to get a call Chapel Hill to Lions Super Pull of the South, Dan?
Oh, it's awesome. It's just I got asked a couple of years back, and unfortunately I wasn't able to make it. So, but this, got the call again here over the winter and talked to Clint, and we're ready to roll. So yeah, it's bucket list stuff. It's just it doesn't get any better than that. And it'll be really cool because talking with Miles, it sounds like they've done a lot of obviously they've done a lot of different things since 30 years since I've been there, but it's he was telling me they line them up different. They used to line them up behind the announcer stand there, and he was saying they moved that over to the other side now. And so it's a lot of different things they've done. Obviously it's been so long, but no, it'd be great. It's great to get back there. And like I say, the last time I was there, the thing I remember the most was it was about 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. It was still 100 degrees. So this is I'll take the cool weather, but either way, it'll be great either way.
Well, it's easier on the fans. It helps your crowd too. I mean, people love pulling, but it hurt our crowd a little bit. Saturday night Rock Valley, it was 95 and felt like 103, Dan. And beer sales were down.
I was going to say beer sales sometimes can be helped by that, but then sometimes it you just never know. But no, it's great. I can't wait. Can't get here fast enough.
It's only a couple days away. We're taking off tomorrow night. Half the crew's already down there getting set up already, and the rest of us are going to roll out tomorrow night after work and hammer down to Chapel Hill, Tennessee. It's going to be a lot of fun. We hope to see you all as well. And then Dan is going to be the voice of the live stream in Fort Recovery, Ohio. Him and Bert Forbes, super excited for that. Dan making his fullpull.live experience. I get a request every week for you or Miles to come on Full Pull Live and announce. I'm like, guys, we tried. And they were already pretty busy this summer when we found out in March we had this contract. So it's been fun, but hopefully we can sneak you and Miles into the booth more in 2025. I do have Miles a little bit here towards the end of the year, and you had a couple open weekends, if I remember correctly. So it's going to be fun.
I think it'll be in Canton. I think
Fort Recovery in Canton, I think. I got to check my sheet. So thank you for watching the Weigh In Wednesday show. Thank you, Dan Mayer, for jumping on here with us tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh, I'd love having you on. Miles was going to jump on everybody, but he's at the county fair with his kids, and I just know he ran out of time. PK was going to jump on as well, but he's mowing some hay. Dan's going to go mow his yard so it doesn't turn into hay.
Yeah, I'm going to go finish. Yeah.
I'm going to play our video one more time. Dan, you can log off. Thanks for watching the Weigh In Wednesday show, everybody. Head over to fullpull.live to get your live stream or hit Full Pull Picks to make some wagers. Have a good night, everybody. Talk to you soon.
Greatest motorsport on earth. Introducing Full Pull Live, your front row seat to all the action. Don't miss our next NTPA national event, the Lions Super Pull of the South, July 19th and 20th from Chapel Hill, Tennessee. Sign up at the brand new low price of $39.99 a month. Full Pull Live, the greatest motorsport on earth, streams here.